Today's the 12th of August 2026, which means it's opening day for the 100 Voices exhibit, and its first stop on its tour is the Scottish Parliament. And the 100 Voices exhibit is a showcase of care-experienced young people's artworks, poems, stories. It's going to go on tour after it leaves the Scottish Parliament on the 28th of August. It's going to Glasgow, it's going to Dumfries, Stranraer, Forfar and Glenrothes. And what's pretty crazy is that my poem is part of this exhibit. My poem, called Dear Scottish Care System, is part of this exhibit, and I'm like, I can't believe it. It blows my mind that my poem is sitting in the Parliament. Potentially hundreds of people are going to read it and hear my voice reading it, and they're not the only ones. Then it's going to go round. It's going to go round, and more people will hear it in Glasgow, in Stranraer, in Dumfries, in Forfar and Glenrothes. That's actually incredible. I'm really proud of that. I feel so I'm really proud, basically. I'm going to see it tomorrow. I'm going to go to Parliament and see it tomorrow. And I'm not going alone to the 100 Voices exhibit. I'm going with more young people. And I really can't wait, because that's going to make it a loads better. It's already going to be good. That's going to elevate it. Being together. After that, we're going for lunch. And then we are going to a show at the Fringe called Unheard Voices, Unbroken Spirits, which is a care experience show. And it's actually going to be my first show that I've ever seen at the Fringe, because I avoid Edinburgh during the Fringe completely. Unless I'm going to see my friends in Musselburgh, then I have to go through Edinburgh, but that's the only reason I'll go to Edinburgh in August, is to see my friends in Musselburgh, because I've no choice but to go through Edinburgh to get to Musselburgh. So yeah, this is going to be this is going to be fun. It's a care experience show as my first Fringe show. That's so cool. It's also raining for the second time today, but after that I'm staying in the city for a bit longer, because I'm going to a reception for the 100 Voices exhibit. Now, this wasn't part of the original plan. However, the person who was originally going to the reception isn't able to go now, so I'm going on their behalf, which is really that's cool as well. And I've been to the Promise reception in Parliament back in February last year, and then that's it, other than sort of funeral receptions and a couple of wedding receptions, right? But this is for the 100 Voices, which is going to be really, really good, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And then after that, I'm going home. So that's it for now. We're at Linlithgow Loch, and it's raining. Also, today's a solar eclipse. We might see it. We might get a glimpse of it if the clouds go away. But yeah, I'll leave it here for now and see you soon. Here we are at Linlithgow Station, waiting for the train to go see 100 Voices exhibit. I'm really nervous. I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't know what's causing the nerves, but something is. Something is, and my stomach is doing all sorts of spins at the minute. It's like a wash machine in my stomach right now. And in fact, it did this at 2:30 this morning as well. I woke up to this at 2:30 this morning as well. And then a paracetamol solved it, going back to sleep solved it. Oh, and then we woke up at 7:30, and then again at 9:15, so that's it. But yeah, this is going to be really good. The train's due in 7 minutes, so we'll be okay. And this is going to go really well.
Very orange. So then we try again, so now again.
fancy. Back in Linlithgow, that's the whole day done. Now we're back in Linlithgow. So let's start with the last part of the day, the reception. That's the poshest reception I've ever been to. Like, it's so fancy. And like, I've been to the Parliament one for the promise, but like, that was fancy. But this was like fancy. Like, this was posh things. There was like pea mousse and like haggis bonbons with like some sauce and like sweet corn like bhaji or something. It was so posh, like in a posh sauce, like another posh sauce. But yeah, it was like really fancy. And there was speeches, which I was trying not to pass out during because of how hot it was in there. But we did it, and the speeches went well. And then I stuck with a couple people the whole time, basically just chatting to a couple people, because I didn't know anybody really. There was a couple people that recognised me, but yeah, I didn't didn't really know anybody, so I just talked to the same person like all night. And one other person as well who played one of the characters that was narrating the 100 Voices exhibit. So that was really cool. So then let's go on to the 100 Voices itself, the actual exhibit. I loved the way it was done. That was done so well. I'm really happy. And I loved the experience. So where to really start? The part you go round and round it again, there's a narrator in your ear telling you what to do, right? There's two narrators that are in conflict with each other. One's an adult, one's a young person. So you're in conflict basically. But they tell you what to do throughout it. And they tell you to start over and start over and start over. Which massive care experience, symbolism right there. I've had to start over and start over and start over. Picked that up quite quickly. There was you had to write down information like what's your favourite food, where's the place you feel safe, like what's your age, like all that stuff, and then put it into a letterbox, which you need to get that information is passed all over about you and you've no idea who gets it, so who has access to that. So I like that. There was also the stats on the wall, how many care experienced kids Scotland has actively being looked after at the minute, at least officially looked after. And I remember that's ingrained in my head because Folk at Champs are training Folk at Council on a bunch of stuff at the minute. We're doing Promise Award training, we do the induction training. I just got hit in the head by a bee or a wasp. Sorry. We do induction training, we do Promise Award training, we do care experience trauma training. All of it has this number. That's ingrained in my head at the minute. It's ingrained in my head in general, actually. How many care experienced kids achieve 3 national 5s? How many of them are going to go on to a positive destination, like higher and further education? Although I want to say higher and further education isn't the end all and be all yet. Education's important, but education's not everything in life. You can do rubbish in education like I did, and then go on to do alright in life. I don't know if I want to say well, because it's a bit positive, but you are, even if you do rubbish in school, even if you do rubbish in college, you might actually go on to do well in life. But yeah, you get the gist. And there was a couple of people I recognised reading out their poems on the headsets. But I also liked that at one point the two narrators were in conflict throughout, but they were both telling you to do something different. And I went with what the young person in it was saying. I did what she asked, what she told me to. I wasn't listening to the adult man. No. No. But I think I picked up some, I don't know if this was actually what it was meant to be, but it felt like that you know, the young person was willing to show that we move in black bin bags. All your stuff is chucked in a black bin bag to be moved. Unless you're lucky enough like me, where I had one foster parent and a set of residential workers who actually moved me on in something that wasn't a bin bag. The rest of the people who looked after me did though. They gave me bin bags. But basically, she was okay with you looking at it and showing the world that this is what it is. But the narrator, the other narrator, who was the adult, he kept urging you to go back to the bookcase, ignore the bag, go back to the bookcase. So I think I could be just looking too deep into it. It might not be that deep, but this is normal. But if, you know, more people knew about it, there might be a bit more uproar. There is uproar already. But you know what I mean? It would be a scandal if more people knew. And actually, I put most of my stuff in bin bags to go from my last flat to my current flat. Some of it I put in a box, some of it I put in like tote bags, some of it bin bags because it was easier than boxes. Yeah, that's a bit sad. I just did the job, but it shouldn't be how kids move, you know. It shouldn't be how care experienced kids move. Not between placements, not between foster parents, resis, whatever, right? And then, so I really liked the layout and how they did it. That was actually really well done. And you heard poems throughout it, and the fact I recognised a couple of people's voices. Oh my god, and my voice, oh my god. I love it. This is the best exhibit I think I've ever seen. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I don't care, right? I'm loving it. And I encourage more people to see it in Parliament or in the rest of its stops. It's you can get tickets on the National Theatres of Scotland's website direct you to where to get tickets, right? But at the end, oh my god, there was everybody's names on the wall, and I found my name, which is oh my god. Hi. I found my name, and I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy. And I'm oh my god, there's me. And there was other people I know's names on the wall as well, which I'm this is phenomenal. I love it. And then I think then I'll go on to the show, the Unheard Voices, Unbroken Spirits. Oh my god. Right, so let's get the funnies. It was really well done. It was so well done. I loved it. And there was the McDonald's joke, the care experienced McDonald's joke. That you find out you're going into care through going to McDonald's. Now, for me, I actually was already in care. I was looked after at home with a social worker before, right? But then the children's panel decided I was going to foster care. And guess what? After the first children's panel, we went to McDonald's. And I remember actually saying, when my social worker was do you want a McDonald's? I was chicken nuggets aren't going to change what's just happened. But then I said, they can't change what I've just seen, what's just happened. My whole life has just changed. Chicken nuggets ain't gonna make a difference. But 5 minutes later, roughly, sort of sitting in silence, finally stopped crying. I did kind of say, but I still want chicken nuggets. So we went and got chicken nuggets. Yeah, they couldn't have undone what happened. They couldn't have changed my life. My life had already changed by that point. But, you know, it's chicken nuggets, right? I was 12, right? I was going to go for the chicken nuggets. But yeah, there was the kid. And I'm how common is the getting taken to McDonald's, but you're finding out you're actually going into care? How common is it that it's made it into a literal play at the Fringe of all places? Internationally recognised festival, one of the biggest in the world. But you know what, I'm actually a bit, you know what, it's part of it. Yeah. I guess it's just part of the care system. And this actually was like so moving as well. And there was a lot of it where I was like, oh, man, this is like very similar to what I've had. Very similar. And some parts were almost word for word as well. And genuinely, that was actually fantastic. There's somebody I know just driving by. But it was actually like fantastic. I loved it. I'm really happy and that was my first actual Fringe show, the first show I've went to at the Fringe that's not just a street performer. Although, you know, big up street performers and all that. But my first ticketed event, like first ticketed show at the Fringe. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm really happy that was my first show. So if you're in Edinburgh, go see Unheard Voices, Unbroken Spirits. You might cry because it's a bit emotional at points, but it's worth it. So that concludes the review, I guess. Now we're just walking home. So yes, if I think of anything else, I'll add it in. But that's it for now. See you later.